Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm actually currently at the One Stop Power Shop doing some long drive training with my coach. Just finished a little speed session. I figured it'd be a really cool thing while I'm here in the simulator to give you guys an update on how far my clubs are going. So what I have here is I have club speed, ball speed, spin rate, height, and carry. And I think those are all the relevant parameters for distance and speed creation. So I'm going to go through my bag. I'm going to hit 3 balls with each club. And we'll average out the yardages, and that'll give you guys a pretty true barometer for my yardages. And I'm hitting an RCT ball, so RCTs are really good because that actually has enhanced spin capture technology, which is why it's able to capture those spin rates. So we'll get a very true estimate of my distance. Distances are kind of hearsay. It really depends on conditions. So this is 0 elevation, no wind, so it's total stock yardages. I'm just going to swing normal. We'll go through the bag. I'll kind of explain the clubs I'm hitting while I'm doing it. We have the 60 here. We'll hit 3 shots. And then we'll just go through the bag like that. So that's 3 with my 60. And you guys might have noticed there's a pretty inconsistent carry yardage there. Because when you have that much spin and that much height, there's a lot of inconsistency with how far the ball will travel, because when you spin the ball more, the ball will fall sharper. When you spin it less, it'll fall flatter. And at this speed, with that much spin rate variance, it's really hard to get the ball to fall consistently. So that's why when I'm on the course, I really don't actually hit full shots very much, because I would say less than a 7-iron. I don't hit many full shots because it's just very hard to control. But I'm gonna hit full shots for you guys today, as I said, just so you guys can see what my yardage would look like. My 54-degree wedge here, that's my next wedge down. So that does it for the 54 degrees, so 135, 140 yard carry. It's about, as I said, I almost never hit full shots with wedges on the course, but that sounds about right. So now we're on to the 48 degree, next wedge up. And this might be where I would start to consider hitting full shots, especially if I'm out of the rough. I'm not going to spin it much anyway. So the spin rates here should be still around 10,000 in that neighborhood. You guys can see that's already carrying about 160, and starting to creep into the ballpark of close to the bottom end for driver club speed on the PGA Tour. So now to the next club up, pitching wedge, 44 degrees. So yes, I have 2 pitching wedges, but this one's 4 degrees sharper, I guess, a little stronger. So this will be where we'll start to see, I'd say about 175 carry, pretty soft for this, but so I'm going to throw that one out because that was definitely a misread on the spin rate. It's actually a cool thing to show because 4,800 spin, so that's about 5,000 less. I carried it 30 yards further. So that's actually about what you'd expect out of the rough. So now you guys can maybe see why I would actually want to hit a full shot out of the rough, because I can still keep the spin rate high and I get a ton of carry. So when you guys see me hitting the pitching wedge 200 yards, more than likely it's out of the rough, and that's why. So getting very, very close to average PGA club speed, which is about 112, 113. We'll probably get there with this club. So now we're at 9-iron. 9-iron again, 185, 190, pretty normal for me. I hit a full shot. I do hit some full 9-iron, but there's not a lot of wind down on the course. About right there, 190 carry. And you guys will notice, like, as I get further and further in clubs, the distance disparity of full swings will tighten up as the spin rates go down. That's where my advantage comes in. You know, it's not very windy, and I can hit a 190-yard shot like that. It's soft, that's a big advantage. 1289. Those all three are probably right on top of each other too. So sitting right on 110 club speed, 8 iron. This is about a 205, 210 club, I would say. And that's just about average club speed right there in B2. So 208. And as I said, you guys are noticing how tight these carries are starting to get. And as I said, that's because that spin rate is starting to get a little smaller, so the variances in spin rate are going down, which is allowing the height of the carry to become very consistent. That's all that matters when it comes to hitting the ball close to the hole and distance-wise. Like, that spin rate is literally what my game centers on, managing that. I caught that hair thin, just a little bit. Spin rate went down about 400 or 500. Carry went an extra 7-8 yards. That's not a big deal. If I'm hitting a 210-yard shot, I'm not really concerned about being 5 yards too long. You know, it's still not a bad distance to hit. So now we're on to the 7 iron. It should be about 215, 220, 225 there. Caught it a hair thin. Everybody believes their highest ball speeds come on a bladed bunker shot. And it's not completely untrue because you belly it and you hit it with a lot of speed. So there's a lot of ball speed transfer. Right around 215 to 220 is what I expect my 7 iron to be at. So there's 221. So yeah, 220, I guess you could say is probably about what I'd expect my 7 iron to go. So now I got the 6 iron, first mid iron, I guess you'd say. And this is where my speed really does a lot for me because this is kind of the club where a lot of people, they can have trouble getting the ball given enough speed to the shot so that the ball can stop and spin, because the less loft you have, the harder it is to get the ball to launch high with spin that allows it to stop. So having speed is what allows you to make that ball stop. That was definitely a well-struck shot. I'd say my 6 iron goes about 235 to 240 on average. Exact shot again. So I'm pretty consistent there, right around 240. I'll shake the 240 club. And it's actually good for me as well because distances do change, and I have actually gotten faster every year I've been a long drive. So I actually think I might have gained about 5 yards or so in my yardages from the beginning of the year, just looking at these numbers. Now we're on to the 5 iron. And at this point, if I'm hitting a 5 iron, one of two things. One of three things, I guess. I either have a very, very long par 3. I'm either going for the green and 2 on the par 5, or I'm hitting it off the tee on a tee box laying up. This is a 250-yard club, more or less. And you know, you can hit it straight off the tee 250 yards. It's a big deal. It really helps you with being able to manage your course. So this is where you'll start to see. I'll start to be hitting these off the tee. 253. A bit of a miss it there. But I mean, the cool thing about this is that if you hit a miss hit, I lost about 10 miles an hour ball speed there. And it's going to happen when you're hitting longer clubs, for sure. It's still carried within 10-15 yards, so it's not disastrous by any means. You know, if I'm off the tee and I lose 10 yards off the tee box, I might be hitting one more club in the green. If I'm hitting into a par 3, if it's 250 yards, it's a hard par 3, so I might have a 40-foot putt instead of a 20-foot putt. And if it's going for the green, I'm just around the green chipping instead of putting. So the thing I want to say is it's okay to miss hit long irons. You're going to do it. That's 5 iron, right around 250-yard club. And we're actually going to skip the 4 iron. I go to a 3 iron because I don't need a 4 iron really because, first off, I don't want to have more than 14 clubs in the bag. I want to have some wedges. But because the 3 iron's a great shot to hit off the tee, it gives me some extra versatility with the longer irons, you know, the 2 and the 1 iron. Because if I have a 1 iron, I can hit that thing 330 yards. You'll see it soon. But I don't want to give up that club. I'd rather throw the 4 out and have the 1 iron and vice versa. And the vast majority of shots with this club will be off the tee. Like what I mean is off an actual tee. But I'll hit it off the deck just to keep everything consistent. The big thing you'll notice is how much that spin drops. One of the things I always try to do with this club is I try to have a lot of shaft lean to take out the spin. That's because I'm used to hitting this off the tee. and I want that to spin very little so it gets on the ground and runs. So that's a 295-yard shot. Now you guys probably know why I always hit this off the tee, because you're hitting it 300 yards, which is about where I hit my 300 off the deck. Like, now there's a big miss in there. And there's 288. That's about right. So I like to think this club goes about the average yardage on the PGA Tour of the driver. Now, we're going to go to the 1 iron. This is probably a club you guys have seen a decent amount if you follow my Instagram and other various outlets. Just because it's such an overpowered club. This is such a huge weapon. And yes, I'm going to tee it up because almost exclusively I will hit this off the tee. There's so much bounce on this. It's very hard to catch this right if it's off the deck. You need that elevation above the ground to get under this golf ball. So this is pretty much a driving iron. Should carry about 320. So 310 carry there. I caught it a hair high in the face, 134 club speed. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty much forms like a really long drive on the PGA Tour. So that's actually another miss hit, but still carried pretty good. Where that's going to be is that's going to be a few yards into the right rough, but it's still going to be 300 yards off the tee. So there you go. That was a little low of a shot, so it didn't carry as far. But these are all rolling out to probably 315, 320. Now we're moving on to the play driver. So for my play driver, one of the things that people always ask me is when you adjust your game for competitive golf, you slow down. I don't believe in that, because I think if you're going to hit your driver, you got to give it what you got. Hitting it shorter off the tee, strategically, is what these clubs are for. You got the big stick in your hands, you should be sending it. And I just don't want to teach my body to slow down. It's a huge advantage to have speed. You can always taper it back when you need it. If I got driver, I want to give it what I got, because I'm not a fan of slowing down. That's just not who I am. So yeah, we're at 140 there, 150 feet of height, 2890 to spin, 358 carry, about right. And as I said, I'm not trying to kill it. I'm just making a comfortable swing. So another one, 360 yards carry there. And one more here, but that's pretty typical. And so for you guys curious, normal conditions, you guys can probably do the calculation there, but more or less about 375 yards of total distance with a carry 360. There you guys have it. That's kind of my yardages, but I also thought it'd be cool to show you guys. Hopefully I gave you guys some insight into my setup, on how I play the game. I will give you guys an updated what's in the bag specifically as well. I know I touched on it a little bit, but there's definitely a lot more depth I need to go on that. But I just want to give you guys an update on how far my shots go and kind of my mentality when I play the game. So hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys got some insight from that. Yeah, a lot of great stuff coming up on my channel in coming months. Excited for some exciting content, some matches, and some other stuff like that. So stay tuned. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please be sure to like the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Happy holidays.